There she is, almost 1 year later and 12,000 kilometers later, which is these many miles. I don't know what to say about this bike. She's been great for everything that I wanted. 1 year later, I've found all the limitations and I found all the strong points as well. If you want to recap the mods that I've been doing, I'll link in the description the previous videos. Most of them were made fairly early in the bike's life last year, from inverting the mirrors to giving it a full exhaust from Black Widow, to the passenger seat and rack, and to this cushion that is the only thing that's making long trips bearable in this bike, on this bike. And just recently I changed the tires. I wanted Commander 3 from Michelin, but they were all sold out. There's been a shortage in tires just as much as anything else at the moment. So what I got was this Commander 2 set, and it's quite different. Bike leans a lot better, and it's also a bit softer. Like, they're part of the suspension, obviously. They absorb a part of the bumps from the road, and these ones are far more comfortable than the original ones. I haven't tested them in the rain, luckily. I'm told they are fairly good in the rain, hopefully better than the stock ones, which were dreadful, even though I only had to ride in the rain a couple of times on those. We'll see. She's just come from the 12,000 kilometer service, and you may have already noticed one change, brand new. This foot peg from Puig, or Pug, or however you say, P-U-I-G. Why foot pegs? Not a lot of people changing their foot pegs on the Rebel. What they do is put on the foot peg extenders so that your feet are actually forward, just about here. Those are super expensive, and honestly I don't think that's something that I want. But these ones, which are smaller, shorter, and also, just as important, they are not as tall. Well, why? Because of this. These are the original ones, and yeah, I've been scraping them since day one. They're pretty worn out. I mean, look at this. There's almost no metal left right here. Yeah, the rubber is loose because of that. Rubber's pretty worn out as well. So I'll keep this just in case something goes wrong with the new ones, but it's pretty much trash. Yeah, they scrape a lot. As far as I can tell, I've gained a couple of degrees in lean angle just coming here. I mean, I just came in from the shop and they feel good. I'm just as comfortable with these ones, even though they are smaller. This has a lot more area for your foot to be planted on, but these ones feel just as good. And the bike rides pretty well. So what to say about this bike after 1 year, after 12,000 kilometers on it? I've done pretty much anything that I wanted on it, from city commuting to long trips. And honestly, she can handle everything. In fact, I'm currently uploading the various parts from the biggest road trip I've ever made, which was the Portuguese road N2, which goes all the way through Portugal, north to south. Well, I actually rode it the other way around, south to north, and that's 740 kilometers of road, plus the trip down to Algarve to start. So that was in excess of 1,500 kilometers of a road trip. and I did that with my good friend on his Yamaha XJR 1300. I mean, both bikes did it just as well. So yeah, this is a bike with obvious limitations, not a lot of power, and it's pretty short. But I'm a short guy. I measure 170. I believe it's 5'7". I'll look into it. I don't remember. And what can I say? Tall people on this bike will probably feel cramped. As I was saying, this is not a crotch rocket. This is not a race bike on the corners, and this is not super comfortable for those long trips. But it can be modded accordingly, and it's a fairly cheap basis to start on. I don't need more power than it has, not looking into that. I would like it to be a little bit more comfortable, especially when it comes to suspension. I will look into that later, but I know that's something expensive. Otherwise, it's the comfort that's an issue regarding the seat. I got by with this added pad on top for over a year. I will look into a more expensive and hopefully way better option in the near future. But yeah, honestly, this will do the trick. And I mean, let's be honest, I'm not a masochist and I'm not a bike expert by any means, but I know that most rebels in this world are not making 12,000 kilometers a year. Probably much less, especially if many of them are someone's first bike. I'd say that they're just more of a toy, right? Well, this is my all-rounder. It's not built as one, it's not sold as one, it's not regarded as one, but I knew what I was getting into, and turns out I was right. And I'm extremely happy with this one. I guess you can tell, not only if you follow my videos regularly, but especially because I've been through a lot of bikes in the last few years, and ever since I got this one, it was the last one so far, which is a first for me. A whole year without buying a new bike. So yeah, foot pegs will be this bike's first anniversary's gift. That's what I got. Hopefully I won't need much more. I won't need to spend money on anything in the coming months. One of the good things about this bike is that it's so cheap. I mean, I have a complete total average after 12,000 kilometers of 3.75 liters per 100 kilometers. I'll try to calculate how much that is in miles per gallon. And it only goes in for a service every 12,000 kilometers. So it was the first after 1,000 and now this one. Well, it would have been. Just for peace of mind, I changed the oil and the filter after 8,000 kilometers. So I spent a little bit more there than I needed. But also, the tax on this, at least in Portugal, is very cheap. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, going up from this class to the next, it's 3-4 times as expensive. And insurance is not too bad, but that really will depend on a lot of other factors. So yeah, I'm really happy with this one. I was ready to spend a year on it and realize I needed something else, but turns out this is a good one. You'll be seeing a lot more of this bike in the coming future. Oh, okay. Well, I want one of those now. Is that my cue to end the video? Is that my cue to change my bike for one of those? We'll see.